Hello. This is a bit of a project that I was planning to start on. Now this is a game that not many people have heard of, and there's very few videos and no challenges that I saw of it on YouTube. And it's actually part of a series that, from what I understand, never actually made it over to the US. There were some installments of it here and there, and this was really the only one that I ever played. I was actually looking forward to the sequel of it, which was coming out next month. Now, considering the platform it was on, it was, pretty unlikely to actually have a fleshed-out strategy game in it. And, at least at first. There were some other ones that came about here and there. This was one of the first ones. And, it really didn't get much credit. I guess they didn't really do any advertising. It wasn't very well known at all. And yeah, it has a lot more details. It actually has if you ask me, the most detail of all the ones that GBA had, especially at the time. So, it was actually a pick between this and FFT when I was first getting them. Basically, I just had a long vacation, and was able to get one or the other. Ended up getting this right after said vacation. And because I actually wasn't able to find it until we got back, it was very hard to track down a copy, and again, just due to the same reason that nobody had ever really heard of it. So, kind of starts off here with this fortune-telling bit. This decides what you start with, what your army starts with. Army, it's 5 people you start with, but still, you can have up to 8 in your group. Basically, these few questions will add up to a certain amount, each one having a positive, negative, and one neutral solution for each one, and each of them have another effect as well. There's 3 of them. Actually, most of them will decide towards moving your person towards a certain alignment. Just go ahead and insert the name here. And yes, that is intentionally misspelled. Now, the birthday will actually decide it'll kind of randomly decide your person's fortune in a way. Basically, during certain parts of the year, your person will be better or worse, just kind of whether they're having a good day or not. So, these first ones, I'm going to be going for getting the best supplies for this kind of situation. I'm going to be doing a bit of a challenge on this, which was actually to use only archers, who are by far the worst. I actually have done this using only soldiers before. They're only basic class, but they can at least take some things near the end. Now, this is one of the questions that actually decides what emblems you start with. Belief will give you Miracle. Normally you have to actually dodge a hit with less than 1% of your health left, I think. I think it might just be below 10. Freedom gives an emblem which is Arbitration. It makes your person more persuasive. Normally you have a maximum of around 12%, I think, for persuading anyone to join your side. This raises it up to about 30. But, enough tries, it's easy enough to get. This one gives Embodiment of Desires. It actually doesn't give any additional benefit, I don't think. You just pick it up for picking up items off the ground, so it's pretty useless if it's the one I'm thinking of. And Longevity gives Fist Fight, which makes your guys' fists better than most of the weapons you pick up for at least the first half of the game. And seeing as archers can only counter with their fists, gonna be going with that. And it sounds broken, but I think it's fair enough. That guy's better than everyone else anyway. So this is just one of these alignment questions. And not really going for anything in particular with those. Just kind of answering them. And as far as I'm aware, there weren't too many other games at the time that did this, at least for handhelds. So just gonna be finishing this up, and I'm gonna let the extremely lengthy intro play. Oh, and just a final note on this whole challenge thing. Essentially, yes, one class using archers only, no training, so going through all of the general story directly. And I'm gonna try to use only things that can be picked up in stories, with the exception of the secret one. But anyway, that should about do it. I'll just let... Alright, and now, the extremely lengthy intro. I actually noticed the first bit, the audio was a little bit low, so anyhow. Kinda starts off here, everyone's getting ready to head out on this trip of theirs. A crusade of sorts. I assume that they're going to bring about their religion there. I'm actually, again, I'm not really sure what the lore of this whole thing is. I assume that's some sort of religion of theirs. And yeah, they're reforming everything with fire, obviously. Because these are the good guys for whatever reason. Submitted a little bit too late. Because the invasion was apparently led by Sean Connery there. What I don't get is why they kill everybody if they're hoping to be accepted by anyone at all. The whole subject matter of this whole invasion and all this other stuff, it seemed kind of strange for a GBA game at the time, considering it was kind of aimed for younger crowds, and hell, even I remember a few people that I knew that were kind of in their 20s at the time just tried to use the thing and they just found it uncomfortable. So it seems unusual that they would have, kind of a depressed little kid running off with a teddy bear with their dead parents in the rain. That's kind of depressing. This never really seemed to make it over here. Not sure why they put that there. Maybe they were expecting to bring the series over a little bit earlier. But the game's interesting enough without knowing any of that stuff. I guess it was just kind of meant as a side story. I'm going to be going for the A+ ending for this. They range from A+, A, B, C, all down to D, which is if the last boss wins.